So hello, welcome back to part two of this series on Horizon script blocks, beginning Horizon script blocks. So in the first part, we did an overview of scripting, and we wrote some script to make it so that when you step on these markers on the floor, the color of the text up there changes to match the marker color. In this script, we're going to just do a timer. So right now, you see the number up there is set to 60. We're going to make it so that it times down to 0, and then maybe play a sound or something. We'll figure that out. So going into World Builder, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to click on properties of my text object. Don't have a script attached. I have 3 chords going to other things, obviously, because if I step on these points, I'm going to change the color so that wires up that way. I can't really hide these wires. Hopefully they'll change that at some point where you can just quickly, because it can get a little bit like spaghetti, literally spaghetti code. So I'm going to add a new script block. There's this up here. 3D space is great because you can just make use of all your available real estate. Open this up again. Okay, so what we want to happen is on some kind of timer, be able to, we'll say every second, we're going to count down from 60 to 0. And so how am I going to do that? Well, there's not a timer control. You would think that might be something that you would have accessible in your widgets, but there's not anything like that. So you have to build it yourself. But the tools to do it are here. What you're going to want to do is we're going to want to send an event with delay. And I'm going to do it when world starts because what this essentially is going to be is a loop. So when the world starts, we're going to begin sending event with delay to self after however many seconds, and we'll configure seconds. And so event is going to be custom, and I'm going to call it timer tick. Enter. Okay. So now we have a custom event called timer tick that's going to fire off 1 second after the world starts. What happens next? Well, we have to handle that. And we're going to do that with, let's see if I can find. What we're looking for is something to handle when event received. It's right in front of me. There we go. So again, notice this isn't under the hierarchy of when world starts. This exists at at parallel. So this is whenever the world script starts up, this is going to be continue to listen until an event is received. So what event am I going to look for? Well, my new event's called timer tick. That's the one I want. It's not here. Now, I think this is a bug. I think it should already exist here since I've created it. And I think that they're going to eventually fix that. But that's okay. You can just do custom and make sure that you match up exactly with how it's the case sensitive and case sensitivity and the spelling of the name you've given. Yep. So we got timer tick, enter, and now it is available for future use. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and select it. All right, so what we've got, again, world starts. After 1 second, we're going to send timer tick to self. Okay, well, self would be this script block. And so when event timer tick is received, do something, which is what we're going to place here. And so we want this to be a loop. So what we're going to do is create another send event with delay. Okay. And we're going to select timer tick. Yeah. And so now it's just a matter of whatever. This is our loop. This is our timer, so to speak. And the logic, the script blocks, the action that we want to occur every second is going to go right here between these two. Okay. And then what's going to happen is it's going to say when that event's received, hey, do something. And then after a delay of 1 second, send that timer event again. And this is going to keep receiving it. It's just going to keep going, iterating through these two for whatever time delay we have set. And so what I want to do there is I want to decrease the number that's going to be displayed. So to do that, I'm going to need a number. I'm just going to call the number count. And count is going to start. I'm not going to assign that here. I was about to do that. I'm not going to. I remember that I do my assignments on the objects that have the scripts referenced. I believe you actually could assign a value here, but let's not do that. Okay, so I'm going to need count. And what else am I going to need? I'm going to need a reference to my text object. Yeah, that's what I can think of for now. So count. Yeah, one more thing. Actually, I might can hard code that. Let's see. So we're going to subtract a value. To do that, we're going to get into some math operations. Use the set to. And actually, guys, I'm kind of learning here as I'm going because I've only done this once or twice. So we're going to subtract from value. Let's see how that would work. Okay. So when I drag the subtract, I have different math operators here. When I drag subtract in, subtract A from B. Okay, so okay, that gives me a better idea. So I do need to create another variable, a number called what am I going to call it? Let's call it decrease by. And it's going to be 1 because for every tick, I want it to go down by 1. The number we're going to set is actually our counter. Replace that. Set count to count minus 1. Oh, why didn't that work? Bam. Okay, there we go. I do have a value here. I'm going to override it in my script. So set count to count minus 1. So count is going to start at 60, which I'll define when I attach this. And each time it iterates through this loop, it's going to just keep decreasing it by 1. Okay, great. So I have a number that's going to do that. Now I need to use my text object to set some text value. To do that, I need to find the code that will let me manipulate text. Display text, that's pretty easy. And it's going to go at the same level because this is what's inside the loop again. After we've decremented our number, we're going to display text with string, and we're going to drop our counter in there. Will it convert automatically? I don't know. With count on text object. Okay, so again, here's what's happening. When the world starts, we're going to send an event 1 second after it starts. These two lines just exist to fire this loop off. When event timer tick is going to begin our loop process. So world starts, it's going to send the first event to be received here, and then this loop is going to continue to send an event, which is just mimicking exactly what happened at world start, so that we've got the loop functionality, and it's going to just keep doing that. And it would continue. I could put a condition in here to stop it, which I'm going to need to do. But I just wanted to explain how this works. So if I did this now, we'd probably get if I ran this now, which I'm going to do, we'll probably get an exception of some kind because the number is just going to keep decreasing. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen. So let's give the script a name really quick. I'm going to call it countdown. It's easy enough. What is that? Okay, countdown. Yep. And our initial value for countdown is going to be 60. Yep. And our text object is going to be self. So I could attach this. There's probably an easier way to get a reference to self, but we're just going to do that. Okay, so now when I run this, you're going to see it count down every second. It's just going to keep decreasing here. So let's bring this down, go to debug, stop world, start world, run. Hey, nothing's happening. Okay. Why is nothing happening? 60 is decreased by 1. I did hit play, right? It's possible we have to change this number value to a string. Let's see if there's something that does that. It would probably be under this actually, because this would be where we have conversions. Scale to object, random number. Okay, variable is string. Count. So if you've not done code before, string values are values that contain text, alphanumeric, and numbers are handled differently just because of how they're used by memory. It's more optimal to have them as separate value types. This might be the trick. And if that is the case, it's really concerning that they don't give you any kind of indication. Yeah, still not seeing anything. Um, are we? I wonder if we can do a debug print here and see what's happening. I've not tried to use this before either, but I'm curious. So counts. Let's check out our debug panel. Countdown is active on here. Hmm. Let's see if we can pull debug when world starts. Okay, so you see what happened. It did. That gets fired. Do we come into the event at all? Um, Curious. I can't duplicate, but I can do 2 debug prints just to see what's going on. Count. Now if I do reset, stop, play. Interesting. So it doesn't act like it's. I see exactly what I did. I said, you guys probably saw that before I did. Um, it's a little bit blurry in this headset, but it helps if you actually get the names right of things you're trying to line up. Okay. Timer tick, timer tick. Now it's going to work. All right. It went down to 59. Interesting. And we've got showing 9 instances. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure this one is correct as well. Okay, finally got a timer. So that was a long journey. And as I'm doing this stuff, it can be really tedious. I'm just going to show you guys, and you get to see my mistakes and everything as well. Because you're going to make mistakes as you go along, and I want you to see how I'm solving those problems when I counter them. All right, great. So we have the script, and like I said, I was curious what's going to happen when it gets to the end. I don't want to wait that long, so what I want to do, instead of doing 60 seconds, why don't we just do 10 seconds or 5? Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1. What's going to happen? Negative. Oh, there we go. Okay. Actually, we'll stop the world. Change this back to 60. And now I want to, if I want to have a condition of when we reach 0, something happens. Which is going to be, I think, at the top. Yeah, if so what we're going to do is say if count equals 0. So your comparison operators are going to be under logic, We have equals. When you see if something's equal to something, it's going to be these two equal signs. Exclamation equal would be not equal. Less than, greater than. The rest are explanatory, but these two are logical operators that perhaps only software developers might be familiar with. So I want to say equals to, and I'm going to look for if count is equal to 0. It's going to make me assign a variable for that too. That's kind of bottom limit. Let's call it bottom, which is it's going to default to 0, so that's cool. If count equals 0, then what are we going to do? Well, we're not going to send we want to do an else condition so we don't send the event, and we're only going to send the event if this isn't met. So a way to do that, well, actually, I don't know that you can even do that. Is there an else statement? I don't think it's that complex. If there was, it would be under control. That's okay. What we can do is another if up here. And only let this logic happen if count is greater than 0. Yep. And so what I want to do is they're all at the same level now. I want them to be I don't know how to make them Okay, so you can see how that little white line, like you can barely see it's indenting there. I believe this is how we're going to do this. Nope. Let's try this again, because I do think that's correct. Yep. You can see if I pull over, it's like it indents. There we go. All right, so this is only going to fire if count is greater than bottom. If count equals bottom, and I want to bring that up there. So the loop's going to stop once count is no longer greater than bottom. When count equals bottom, we're going to perform an action. Easiest action would be could we do? I'll just play a sound. I should have sound working on the last demo video I did. There wasn't any sound because I wasn't recording it as a source. That was my mistake. Now it will. It should work this time. So what kind of sound do I want to play? A buzzer, maybe. Yep, well, that'll work. I'm not picky. Add a variable for the sound, which again is going to be like a game object for any type that we don't have. Any reference type that we don't have that doesn't have a variable, again, just use object. It should work. Sound, because I'm just feeling generic in my naming conventions right now. Sound. And what is sound going to be? Just to make this a little more manageable. Okay. I got 60. I'm gonna just to test this. I'm gonna do a 5. And the world isn't started yet. All right, cool. So that's how to make a timer. Kind of the basics of what you would do. Um, let's say I wanted to have the buzzer start at the 5-second marker. Um, how would we do that? Well, we would just add a different if condition. And I could say right now I've got it saying if count equals button. I could modify this really easily to say if count is less than shit, that's not gonna work. So so this the undo operation on the menu is your friend. I just completely rearranged this and would say by. So let's get rid of these individually. Okay, so my condition is going to be if under less than need a new variable for this. That's okay. Less than buzz begin. So I can set, and then I'm going to start playing that sound whenever we reach that point, which is going to be So notice something here. I've added this buzz begin value, and it's not present here. I think it should refresh immediately. I don't know. I think if you do reset, stop world, yeah, it's still not showing up. Okay, so if that happens, what you can do is just do a different. Did it keep? Yeah, it actually kept the references. No, it did not. So, but buzz begin actually have the value now. So that's really annoying. You have to reset it. And now I have to take. There is my sound. And my text object is, it's going to reference self again. All right, and countdown. Since we're going to start buzzing on 5, I'm going to do 10. Reset, stop, play. Didn't you know why? Because you have to hit enter to make it take the value. Okay, there we go. 9, 7, 6, 5. Okay. And if we wanted a custom buzzer on 0, you see how you would add that. So that is yeah, if I wanted to actually play a different sound when it reaches 0, another if block, count equals 0, you might have to define a new variable. If you could just use bottom, it'd be really easy to do that. Let's move this. Ugh. It's not letting me pull it over. Why? Okay, that's why. So if you want something to exist at this level, you might have to come to the top. It doesn't really matter because There seems to be no else clause. So yep, count equals bottom. We're going to play a new sound. Let's go ahead and stop that. There we go. Sound T end, sound timer end. Yep. Okay. Now I need a new sound for. Still don't know why. Let's see. And why is that not working? I know why. Because I didn't wire up sound end. Okay, guys. So just setting back and looking at I was just going to point out, look at all the script just to do what we've done so far. This can get messy pretty quickly. So anyway, this is the end of part 2. I just wanted to do a timer, and it got a little. I was going to do a little bit more, but this got pretty time consuming. So let's reset the world really quick. Stop, play. All right, and that's it. And the next one, what we'll do is we will incorporate a random number. We're going to create a new sign that's going to show us the color that it wants us to be going into, and our timer is going to be going, and probably going to spread these out a little bit. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. See you next time.